FEAR stands for, right? FEAR, fear. Anybody know what that stands for? False evidence appearing real. The only reason that you're afraid of anything is because you don't know, right? And we fear what we don't know because it's the fear of the unknown. But if you're prepared, you should never have to fear anything. But let's talk for a minute about trash. Do you know what trash really is? Trash is unwanted things, unwanted memories, unwanted beds, cans. It's just trash, right? But sometimes we choose to carry the trash with us, okay? So I want to volunteer. How about you? You look really busy there, and I want you really involved with this. So you got to come up here, and we're not going to photograph her.
It's okay. She doesn't mind. She agreed.
Oh, okay. Come on up here. Great. So I would rather you guys close your books for real because I would really like your attention. Would that be okay to ask that? Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you. Okay, come on. What's your name?
Lauren.
Lauren. This is a disapproving father.
Okay.
And this is a neighbor that you don't like.
Okay.
But we have to deal with them, right?
Right.
So hold them out like this. And you're going to just stand there and hold this trash. Because you carry it with you every day. Because sometimes, the disapproving father just doesn't like what you're doing and he doesn't agree. Maybe this is an aunt that says you'll never make it in life. We have those people in our lives, right? And this is a neighbor that you got to put up with it, but because you can't move, right? Yeah?
Can we change the names on those weights?
Why? What do you want? Oh, is this a husband? This telling what is this?
Let's call that DH.
DH? Why is DH trash?
It's not dental hygiene.
Oh, okay. Is it getting heavy yet?
Yes.
And your name's Lauren?
Yes.
Okay, let me know when it gets really heavy. But you can't drop them at all. You can't bring them down because, see, here's the whole point of this. You choose to take your trash with you every day. You choose to take these things and hurdles with you every day, and they get heavy. And you're carrying them through school with you, and they're getting in your way of making it. They're getting in your way of success. But you don't know how to take out the trash because you have to carry it with you. Lauren, you're strong. Because most of the time they get really heavy, but that's okay.
No, they are.
Oh, they're having to shake. Are you starting to shake? Okay, they starting to shake? Okay.
Wiggling.
Yeah, they are. And I could tell her shoulders are coming down just a little bit because they're not as high as they were before. Because before she was really strong and going up, but now they are declining a little bit. But now, let me ask you this. Now, see, they're sinking more.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, they're really going down. Okay, put that down. Okay, good. You've got good upper body. Okay. So the whole point of that, thank you, Lauren. The whole point of that was, we do carry these heavy things with us. We do carry all these problems with us, and we don't know. Can we divorce our families?
No.
Well, yeah, you can. Absolutely, you can. Right? Can you tell your neighbor, hey, look, I know we're neighbors, but you're really getting on my last nerve? Okay, right? You can, right? Sometimes do we though?
No.
Why is that?
I do.
Why is that?
Conflict.
So you don't want them to feel bad, and then you just avoid them. You don't have to tell them.
Okay, but you're still carrying that burden of having to deal with them, right? And you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. You try to, so you're not really establishing borders and boundaries, right? So you do try to not carry that with you, but really, how many of you, be honest, really, are carrying some trash with you right now? Hands. I want to see everybody's hands. Some form or fashion. Okay, so we all got some trash, right? Okay, great. So I'm going to teach you how to take out your trash, okay, and live a better, freer life. Okay, so there's always somebody in your life who's an anchor, who's really weighing you down. And I'm telling you what, and I'm going to say this on film. I love my husband, but sometimes he's an anchor. Okay? Because I always said, and my family always says, if you weren't married, you'd be a multimillionaire. Because you know what? It's those responsibilities of that marriage keeping me grounded. Do you understand what I'm saying by that? It's not that it's a bad thing. It's just that it's time. If I didn't have to do this, I could be doing this. You know what I'm saying? So it's those borders and boundaries and some of that stuff, but I love him to death, and he's great. And you're really wonderful, honey, I swear. Okay, but you know what? So sometimes you have to say that, but you know what? Honestly, if I didn't have to sleep, I'd be a millionaire because I'd be working all night. Now, I do work 7 days a week. 7 days a week I do work. If I'm not here, I'm working on something else. I have 2 other businesses that I run, plus I work full-time here. Okay, but there's a lot of reasons I have that liberty, because I don't have a lot of trash in my way. I don't have a lot of people being negative to me, so I can be successful at many things. I can spin a lot of plates. Okay? So what is holding you back? You got to think in your head, what are some of the things that are holding you back? And you don't have to say them out loud. When you clean your house, what's your name, sweetie?
Liz.
Liz? Liz, when you clean your house, do you clean the whole house or do you clean one room at a time?
When I clean it, the whole house.
You do the whole house. So you're in the bathroom at the same time you're in the kitchen. And you're in the kitchen at the same time you're in the bedroom. And you don't just do one house?
Kind of.
Technically.
Well, yeah, but literally, I need literally
Literally one room at a time.
one room at a time. But you're doing it the whole day.
Yes.
Okay, so one room at a time. What happens if you had to clean the whole house at one time? Wouldn't you get a sense of overwhelmness? Right? That's what happens when you start to problem solve. When you problem solve and when you start trying to talk to your friends and families and neighbors and all this, and you're trying to straighten out, and by the time you're giving to everybody and everything, and you're trying to be everything to everybody, you start to get overwhelmed and you start to shut down. So you have to pick when and where and who and how to clean your house one room at a time. Okay. What made you come to Sanford Brown? What's your name?
Mara.
Mara. What made you come to Sanford Brown? Was it purpose, panic, or pride?
Purpose.
It was purpose. Panic, purpose, or pride?
Purpose and pride.
Purpose and pride. Anybody here come here out of panic? Oh my God, I got to do something with my life?
Maybe a little bit.
Okay. How many? Yeah, because I'm thinking, okay, you wanted to do something purposeful, but how many of you really said to yourself, oh, I got to transition. I got to do something. My family's depending on me. I got to go to school. Right? Okay, that's panic. That's panic. You just didn't have a perfect life and go, I think I'll go to school. I need something else to do. You know, you didn't do that, right? Okay, so, but now, in order to be successful, I wanted you guys to make sure that now you're actually purposeful and not panic-driven, right? Okay, so, and we're going to talk a little bit about pain versus pleasure. And we're going to talk about Pareto's principle. How many of you ever heard about the 80-20 rule? And I'm not talking about Why Did I Get Married on that movie, Tyler Perry's 80-20 rule. Everybody laughs about that.
That's the only one I heard.
Yeah, right? It was a funny movie too, right? Okay, 80-20 rule. 80% of the land was owned by 20% of the people. Wilfredo Pareto observed that this in Italy, okay? So it's the 80-20 rule. 20% of his pea pods in his garden had 80% of the peas. What does that say about us? What that says is 20% of you will be successful. The other 80% will not. It is any time you want to study anything in numbers, the 80-20 rule exists. 80% of effects come from 20% of the cause. And I'm going to go into this a little bit more. Did you ever notice that 80% of the people, 20% of the people bring 80% of the picnic food? Mm-hmm. Did you ever notice that 80% of the church donations given by 20% of the patrons? Did you ever notice that 80% of your complaints come from 20% of your customers? Did you ever notice that 80% of your sales are made by 20% of your staff? 80-20 rule. And anywhere you work, anywhere you go to school, anywhere there's people, if you survey the CEO of the company, he's going to tell you that 80% of the work is always done by 20% of the cream of the crop. So, are you going to be that 20% or are you going to be the 80? That's up to you, right? I mean, that's really up to you, because if it was meant to be, it's up to me. Okay? Don't expect career services to find you that career. They'll assist you, but don't expect it. You are going to be in charge of your success. Only you. Only you. So it depends on how much you give as to how much you're going to get. Okay? So what does this mean to us? This just means that I want to be that part of that 20%. You know, I want to make sure that I'm there. Okay, so let's talk about purpose, panic, and pride. This is definitely panic. This is panic motivation. Okay, would that motivate you to row fast? Would it? That's what I mean by purpose or panic. Okay? So yes. So here's my motivation. I am better today than yesterday, but I'm not as good as tomorrow. My motivation is always, I know who I am, I know what I could be, I know what I should be, but thank God I'm not the person I used to be. Okay? Because I believe in growth every day. I learn something, loads. I learn loads every day. I learn so many new things every day. But I'm open to learning those new things. Mr. Davis shows me things all the time that I'll say, I had no clue. And I teach him, don't I? Absolutely. I mean, we teach each other. It's just amazing how much information he has. But then, obviously, he always tells me and compliments me as, wow, you know, I never heard that before. So it's really a collaborative effort. Success really is. And I don't have time to be negative. I don't want anybody negative around me. I choose my friends very carefully because I don't need additional trash in my life. My friends, if they have drama, I'm sorry, this may sound very cold, but they're out of here. I don't have time. It's a weight I don't want to hold. When I was young, I had a lot of weight, and it got heavy. It got heavy because of my family. It got heavy because of my friends. It got heavy because of my neighbors, because I chose to carry it. Okay, now I put it down. I don't choose to carry that anymore because I don't own it. If you own it, you'll carry it, and you'll never be successful. I promise you. It's just a rule. It's just a rule of life. Okay? So, defining your purpose, you know, we're giving you the skill set. You have the abilities in you to do it. You obviously have the passion, and now you're going to get the talent. Obviously, it comes all full circle, right? Until it meets you in the middle. So you have to decide where you're going with this. Was he purpose, panic, or pride?
Pride.
Pride? Purpose? Okay, cool. How about Mother Teresa? Purpose, panic, or pride?
Purpose.
Purpose? Okay, you think she was prideful?
Yes.
Very much so, right? How about Colin Powell? Pride? Okay. Purpose? Okay. How about Oprah Winfrey?
Purpose. Pride.
Okay, good. Princess Diana?
Purpose.
Pride, purpose, okay. Michael Jordan?
All three.
Pride.
Panic?
Pride and panic.
Panic?
Yeah.
Why do you say panic?
Because he's in the game. So he's got
That's anxiety. Okay. All right, so here's all the gold medal winners of the Olympics. Pride, purpose? Pride, right? A lot of pride
Phelps.
there, right? How about this guy?
Yeah.
pride.
Right? Okay. Now, this is my girl here, okay?
Right.
Very much so. She's very proudful of what she does. Do you think any of them have ever had a bad day?
Yes.
Of course. Do you think any of them had weights to carry around?
Yes.
Do you think any of them had family members or anybody telling them you can't do that, you're never going to make it?
Yes.
Do you think any of them ever cried?
Yes.
Jordan
Okay.
locked himself in a closet after getting kicked off his high school team.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. What made him?
Come out of the closet.
Well, I don't want to say it like that. I didn't want to go there, but since you opened the door, no. What do you think? What made right? Pride. But they all have one thing in common, other than pride.
They left that weight behind.
Okay, they took out that trash, didn't they? They dropped that trash and they kept going on, which is a word that starts with P,
Persevere.
perseverance and persistence. Look at these medals. Do you think that doesn't come with persistence and perseverance That's right. So let me tell you, along with panic, pride, purpose, now we have to add perseverance or persistence, okay? That's the key to success. That's the key that's going to make you drop these weights and take out your trash. That is the key of success, okay? Let's talk a little bit about pain versus pleasure. I really want you to understand this concept. You know the motivation to avoid pain is usually stronger than the motivation to gain pleasure. Think about that for a minute. Does that make sense? Will you avoid conflict?
No,
You go after conflict?
I want to avoid it.
You won't avoid it. Okay. All right. So here's, I want to try to show you something. Let's talk about chocolate for a minute. I'm menopausal. I have to have chocolate in my life. Okay? Because it's just the way it is after you're years old. Okay? Okay. So this is just the way it is. Okay. But you know what? The pleasure on my lips is painful on my hips. Okay? So do I want to indulge and have that chocolate truffle, knowing that it's going to cause me pain later and an extra 50 sit-ups?
You do it anyways.
You do it anyway. Why?
Because it's so good.
What? Okay, good. Right? Okay. But you know what? Here's what happens.
It's easier.
Right. Now, let's change the behavior for just a minute so I can show you how to turn that behavior around. So even though it's really good, your success is more important. Let me turn that around just for a minute. I'm a lifetime Weight Watchers member now. And what that means is that I've hit my personal goal with Weight Watchers so I don't have to pay anymore. There's a $40 a month membership. And I went to Weight Watchers for 2 years to drop that 35 pounds. So I dropped it, and right now I'm at goal where I want to be, okay? So if I eat that, knowing how good it is, I'm not going to be a goal anymore, and the pain of paying that monthly fee is now going to be better than not paying it than what that tastes like. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't mean that I don't sneak once in a while, but I don't do it every day. Because if I did it every day, it would be painful. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so another thing is, I always say, nothing tastes as good as thin feels. Doesn't that make sense? I have I call them my sexy clothes. You know, my out clothes. When I go out Friday night, I don't be looking like, all these rolls hanging on me, right? Trying to fit into a nice dress. I feel better when I look better. But that's just me. That's my motivation. So I'm changing my behavior in order to get that. Okay, let's talk about cigarettes for a minute. I smoked for 28 years, 2 packs a day. There was never a minute in my life you didn't see a cigarette in my hand. For 28 years, 2 packs a day. I love cigarettes. When somebody's near me and they smoke, I go, because I still need that whiff once in a while, okay? But it's been 5 years since I've held a cigarette in my hand. Let me tell you, I never thought in a million years I could do it. Because not only was I physically addicted to cigarettes, but I was emotionally addicted to cigarettes because I have a very addictive personality. Okay, I come from a long line of alcoholics, truly. And I have that addictive personality. So therefore, I knew that I was addicted. But the pleasure I was getting started turning into pain. I couldn't breathe. I do have a little bit of respiratory problems now. A little bit, thank God, a little bit, from smoking. That's what keeps me from not smoking is the fact that I can do this. The fact that I can walk from here to my office and not wheeze. Not, because I was doing that at the age of 40. Yes?
Did you gain a lot of weight when you were?
Thank you for asking that. No, I didn't, because I put in another behavior called weightlifting. So every time I wanted a cigarette,
You go wait.
I had these.
Seriously?
Seriously, serious as a heart attack. Every time I wanted a cigarette, I would do 10 jumping jacks because I couldn't breathe. So when I did my 10 jumping jacks, and I was doing that, I didn't want a cigarette anymore. You have to replace, I'm sorry? Well, we can talk about that for sure, but there are things, it's all this, it's just this. I also, when I quit smoking, I gave up my margaritas and my coffee. I had to quit drinking coffee for 6 months, and I had to quit drinking alcohol for 8 months, because those are triggers. You got to do this in order to succeed with anything. You have to change behaviors, because those triggers stop you. Are you a smoker, I guess?
Oh, yes.
Okay. You can come see me in my office, and I'll give you the things that I did to quit. And you'll never hear me say ever, other than right now, I did it, you can do it, because no. It's an addiction, and addictions are all serious. It's not just, oh, just put it down. It's not that simple, guys. It's really not. For those of you that aren't addicted to something, it's really just not that simple. You know, addiction is...
I quit. Remember that fat picture that you showed me? I quit for 6 months. I gained 40 pounds.
Wow, it's because you replaced it with that
I
hand
was
to
in-
mouth.
I
Say, you go like this, instead you're going like this, because that arm has to keep moving. You know what I mean? You had to change your behaviors. I will give you all the tips and tricks of how I quit smoking, because I'm going to tell you something, and I'm going to let you know something. And I know I can't bring the big G-O-D into this, but let me tell you something. I couldn't do it without divine intervention.
I prayed about it and nothing works. I'm telling you.
Okay, well, I can teach you how to hit your knees, girlfriend. Because it was through that grace that I quit. And trust me, 28 years, every day, 2 packs a day for 28 years.
That's what I'm
That's
thinking right now.
okay. Well, then you need to talk to me later. I'll get you. I'll teach you how to trick this. Because really it is. It's convincing yourself that you want to change a behavior, and all it is practice, right? All right, let's move on. This is your behavior right now. This is your goal right now, and that's the immediate goal, getting through this, right? Okay? So but you know what? Your trash in your life, how many hurdles do you have right now?
Like 1,500.
It's a long program. You guys come here for a long time. It's a long program, and it's a very, very demanding. It's a very demanding program. And so is your family. And so is your life. It's very demanding. How do you handle all those demanding things at once? Well, let me tell you something. You better get rid of your trash to lighten your load, because you're still carrying it with you. And Lauren knows it gets heavy, right? She knows. She was up here, right? So let's talk about this for a minute. Stop letting the pain and avoiding pain limit your pleasure. There are other things. So how many students and how many people end up looking like this? All right, this is really all about
The
that
last
pain,
one.
right? Oh, is that you?
Yeah.
Are you tired? Yeah? Okay, this is me sometimes. That's what I feel like on the inside, right? Okay, so this is really what you have to be like, you know. This is where you have to be. This just doesn't do anything for me. I like this. I like the positive. It keeps me motivated to be positive, okay? So there you go. That's it. That's the nice of it. You know, sometimes I hear, Missy, I can't believe my teacher failed me. All right, well, I got news for you. The teacher didn't fail you. You failed yourself. How many students come into me all the time and blame the teacher? It's their fault. They're horrible people. They make me do assignments. They make me do homework. Oh my goodness gracious. Who the hell are we hiring? You know, it's, right? Right, but seriously, that's what it is, right? I can't do my homework because I had to work. It's not my fault. Every time I go, life kicks me down, blah, blah, blah. So when the students come to my office and they try to hand me this trash, I say to them, you know what? You're talking to the trash expert here. So don't bring me problems. Bring me solutions. What are you going to do about it? Because I could sit here and help you waddle in your blah, blah, poor me life. I could listen to you all day, but I really don't have the time, and I really don't care. Okay? What I want to know is, how are you planning to succeed? That's what I want to know. So let's push these tears away. But see how that process works? But if people just allow you to cry and wallow in your misery, you're just going to be in the same place that you started, right? So that's not my job. People who choose to stay in that life will remain at that 80%. They're going to remain there. Okay. All goal setting must be followed with an immediate action. You have to have strategic plans, right? So what is holding you back? What is holding you down? Okay, what is so heavy that we got to trash it, right? We just got to trash. Okay, now, how many, you can raise your hands if you want to. You don't have to if you don't want to. It's a very personal thing. How many of you suffer from the lack of confidence, true confidence? Anybody? True confidence. Okay. Okay. Doesn't mean you're a weak person. Just means that you're not very confident. How many people in here have someone in their life right now saying you won't make it? I want to see it.
We all do, guys. Come on.
Really? Really? Wow. Okay.
I don't count him in my life.
Okay, how many of those people have other motives as why they're saying it?
Oh, yeah.
Motives. They're like, they don't want you to make it because of their own selfish reasons, maybe? You know what I mean? All right. How many of you had to repeat a class or had to fail a class based on the fact that your life got in your way? Nobody? In the past? Okay. In the past? In the past? Okay. So, how many of you now, with those hurdles, look back and say, why did I let that person or that incident stop me? I should have never let that happen to me. Raise your hands. Okay. Now, are you repeating those tendencies now because you don't know how to take this and throw it out?
No.
Okay, so you're filtering them? You're filtering them? You're letting them go little by little? What's that?
Dodging it.
Dodging it, avoiding it? Okay, all right. Now, here's the deal. Do I seem like a very highly motivated person to you?
Yes.
Do I seem like a person that maybe had problems but they were small?
Yes.
Think so? No? What are you thinking?
Yeah, big problems.
I have big problems.
Yeah.
What makes you say that?
Because you're strong.
You learn from your
You're a strong
experiences.
woman, and you don't become strong unless you struggle.
Oh.
She took my word.
I love that.
She took my
Thank
words.
you. You know what? I'm going to take that. You don't become strong unless you struggle. That's worth $1 million.
They say
I
that
know it because of myself. When I started here, you only could look at me and I would cry. And now I grow a thicker skin. I still lose it, but
Well, you're supposed to. You're supposed to have a bad day.
not to the same degree. When I started, I was a mess. Like, really sensitive.
Let me just tell you a little bit about trying to recover from trash. Okay, just let me share a couple of things with you. I grew up in when I was born in an all-black neighborhood. There were no whites. It was just me and blacks. Okay? I was different because I had light skin. So growing up, I didn't know. I thought I was the only person with light skin because everybody else was black. And then when I started getting to the point where I could understand and conversate with people, my father had purchased or started his masonry contracting business and made some money, so we moved to an all-white neighborhood. And I was still different. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I don't fit here, and I don't fit here. Where do I fit? Because my heritage is I'm half Italian and half Mexican. Okay, so my mother was full-blooded Mexican, my father was full-blooded Italian. So I didn't fit in with the blacks, and I didn't fit in with the whites. We were the only Latin family within 40 miles. That's why I don't speak Spanish, because there was nobody to talk to. Okay, so my parents didn't raise me that way because they didn't know either. They were the first generation from my grandparents who both came here and immigrated to the country. So growing up, I didn't really fit into a lot of places because I didn't know how to fit in. So I felt discrimination from get-go, okay, from both sides. Long story short, go to this all-white high school, and the whole all-white school and neighborhood. It was a middle, upper class. So I loved my education, though. It was a very small town. I grew up in a very small town. And we had one police officer, and he was part-time. That's how small it was. Okay, I mean, we didn't even have a traffic light where I grew up. I grew up in the suburbs of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, so the city was there, but we didn't know the city because we lived 30 minutes away. Nobody ever left this town either. We were all just like this. But long story short is, back in the day, when I was a teenager, you didn't talk about sex, you didn't talk about birth control, you didn't talk about those things. So lo and behold, I got pregnant when I was a senior in high school. And so, yeah, I was one of the girls that did, I guess. You always say, oh, she did it. You know how you are when you're in high school, right? Back in the day, it was, you don't talk about that stuff, right? But anyway, so I got caught, I got pregnant, and did the right Italian Catholic thing by marrying the guy, okay? Did the right thing, because we wanted, that's shameful. Back in the day, my daughter's 32 years old today, so 32 years ago, you didn't do stuff like that, you know what I mean? You quit school, you hid, it was shameful. So now I'm covered with all this shame, right? So graduated pregnant, first person in my class to graduate pregnant. And when I got my diploma, the whole class stood up and gave me a standing ovation because of the courage, I guess, it took to walk across that stage. Nowadays, that doesn't seem like anything, does it? Nowadays, it's like typical, right?
The baby gets a diploma too.
Yeah, right? Yes. But the whole point is, you know what? I didn't shame myself and hide. I chose to walk that stage because I deserved it. And I worked hard for that. So it took guts to do that, you know what I mean? Then, of course, I did have, like I said, 2 alcoholic parents. And talk about trash. My whole life was like trashy like that because of the fact that they were functioning alcoholics. What's the difference? Do you know?
They go to work in the morning.
They go to work every day. They hold the job down. The family's there. Yeah, the money support their habits, right? But that was okay. Because you know what? To me, that was normal. You know what I mean? Like, everybody else on their wall by their phone, they always had emergency phone numbers. I had all the bars. When I was growing up, oh, is she there? Hey, is there that? Okay, oh, is she there? No, is she there? Okay, so I had all the bars listed instead of emergency phone numbers. So, but that was normal to me. So here's the deal. After I had the baby, I left my husband, and I was a single parent all her life. I remained single for the rest of her life. Because at that point, I chose to put the man I was married to down because he was no good for me or for her at all. So there I was, 18 years old, have this baby now, thinking all my friends are going to college and I'm not because I have to be a mommy. Okay? So we do our priorities, we structure our lives around our children. And I knew that was the right thing to do anyway. So I saw all my friends having these incredible lives and going to college and getting education and just having so much fun with it and being free of children because, they didn't have their children until way after college. So I don't look at that experience as, oh man, my life sucks, what did I do? And I did it the wrong way. No, you're right. I took that and it made me stronger. I worked 2 and 3 jobs, put myself through school, and did a lot of things for my daughter and provided for her because that was my responsibility. So I took it across the chin and I just picked myself up and I decided I'm going to be a successful person because this is what I choose, not because of what they're telling me. My father said, oh, I really wish you would have graduated high school. Well, I did because he irritated me by saying that, so I did. The one thing to motivate me is tell me I can't do something. I will do it every time and I will be the best at it because I like those challenges. I like when people try to tell me, you're not going to, you can't, you suck, you're not worth it. Keep telling me that. I will own the country someday. Okay? That motivates me. And that's what I need you guys to do about getting rid of your trash. I need you to take that negativity and turn it into something positive and making the struggles make you stronger. That's perfect. I love that tagline. because it will. Don't crumble. Don't ever crumble. Don't make somebody define who you are. The situation you're in right now, whatever it is not defining who you are right now. That's why you're here. You're trying to redefine you. You're trying to redefine your focus, your drive, and find that motivation to be successful in what you do. You're going to make a difference in someone's life. You're going to impact somebody, whether you did or whether you haven't yet, you will. And that's what makes us purposeful. Okay? So, what I want you to do right now, a little bit of an exercise, just take out a piece of paper for me right now. Humor the old lady. Just take out a piece of paper. Take out a piece of paper. Split it in half if you want to, and give your neighbor a piece, whatever it is, right? Okay, do me a favor. Okay. All right, everybody got a piece of paper, pencil, pen, whatever it is? All right, here's what I want you to do. You're not going to share this with anybody, but for 5 minutes, I want you to write down the trash in your life right now. People, places, things. Write it down. Just got to write it down. If you're going to share it, I'm not going to ask you to say it out loud. Write down some trash in your life right now. Just want to take the time. And I know y'all got some kind of trash, so I don't see no pens flying here. I know you. Is it a neighbor? Is it an aunt? Is it an uncle? Is it a disapproving father? Is it something about somebody who died that you never got off your chest? Just write it down for me. Anything that's trashed.
So trash, define trash.
Define trash. People, places, and things that are negative in your life or have been in your life that you need to get rid of. Something inside of you that's keeping you from feeling worthy. Something, someone, something, somewhere, place, person, thing. Just anything that you think, you know what? I'm tired of holding that. I got to get rid of that. Whatever that is, write it down.
It can even be things like if you have anger about something in the past.
Yeah,
that you
something,
feel like
an
you never got
incident
rid
or
of.
whatever it is. Yeah, just write down anything. Okay, so do me that favor. The whole point of this exercise is for you to be realistic with your negativity, to be realistic with what's anchoring you, what is holding you down, what is dragging you back down. No matter how hard you try to come out of it, something keeps pulling you back down.
Remember Rigoletto, what was that? What does it say? There's no curse like the one we give ourselves.
Right. And if it's you, if you're your worst enemy, write down, I need work on me. It could be just a bunch of things. It could just be internal. But just make sure you write something down. You didn't write anything down. You mean to tell me you've got the perfect life? Because I want to be you.
Is she married?
I don't. Yeah, are you married? Wow, does your husband have a brother? No, I'm just kidding, honey. We will edit that part, Mr. Davis.
He's really young though.
Well, I'm not a cougar by any means. Okay, if you'll pass me that trash. Okay. Now. Oh, is it a double? Oh, jeez. Okay, so here's the trash bucket.
Let's burn it.
Well, here's what we're going to do. Okay, here's what we're going to do.
Don't put your name on it.
Remember something. Yeah, don't put your name on it.
Jean might read it.
Yeah, Jean might read it. Yeah, I'm sure Jean has a lot of other things to do than read or trash.
Trash and read.
Right? Okay, here's the deal. To stay strong, you've got to define your borders and boundaries. To stay strong, you have to have the art of saying no. To stay strong, to stay successful, you have to have goals and a strategic plan on how to get there. To be successful, you really should want a mentor in your life. Now, I know that sounds really high school, but let me define the word mentor. You've got to pick somebody in your life, somebody you may not even know. Maybe it's another dental hygienist who is very successful. Maybe it's a dentist. Maybe it's a teacher. Maybe it's whoever it is. You've got to pick somebody that you like what they represent, and you want them to continue to mentor you. Okay? Mr. Davis sometimes mentors me on certain issues. I have mentors all over the place. One of my mentors is the CEO and founder of Nickelodeon Hotel. We're very, very, very dear friends. She sold her portion of Nickelodeon Hotel, and now she's retired. But I meet with her quite often, and she mentors me on the development of people. And one thing that impressed me about her, we went to her. Has everybody been to Nickelodeon Hotel? Do you know where it is?
Discount?
Yeah, probably. I could probably hook something up.
It's pretty.
It is beautiful. Have you been?
I know, but it's on 536.
It is. It is. It is. It is absolutely the most amazing hotel that you could ever want to stay in. If you have children, I highly recommend for you to save your pennies to stay there. Nickelodeon Hotel is just absolutely fun and wonderful and beautiful and relaxing. But here's the point. So I went on the grounds with her that day, and we were walking around. And remember, like, she is in charge of like 1,000 employees that work there. Okay, so everybody knows her by name. Even the guy taking out the trash. And what happened was, we're walking along, and she's showing me this and that, and everybody's, good morning, Miss Terry, and how are you, Miss Terry, and and her name's Terry and everything. And I'm like, wow, man, there's a lot of people that know you. I mean, she is the highest high that you can go to, right? So she said to the guy who was taking out the trash and emptying the dumpsters, he's like, hey, Miss Terry, how you doing today? And he had his gloves on, and he's doing his thing. She says, you know what? I want you to go take a minute break. I'll get this. She put that man on break, and we got in the trash container, and we did the pan, and we took that trash to the dumpster ourselves while she put that guy on a 10-minute break. The CEO of a company took out the trash for one of her employees. That is gold. That is why she is so successful, and she was voted the top 25 businesswomen in the country. Her employees, and then she had open door day. Any employee for any reason can go see her once a month on open door day. Talk about anything they want. Don't have to go through the chain of command. Don't have to have a reason why. She had open door day. You know what most of the people wanted to talk to her about? What do you think it was?
Wages?
No? What do you think most of it? How did you get where you're at? That's what they wanted to know. How did you get where you're at? They wanted to know how to become successful. So isn't that cool? So she spent that time with that employee saying, well, this is what I did. How often do you know of a CEO with 1,000 people under them take the time to have that open door policy? So, in other words, what I'm trying to get at, get that mentor going, get that somebody in your life who you really look up to and say, how did you get where you're at? Because you know what? That helps you keep your goal in mind. So now, but you know what the most important thing is? We got to take out some trash. So I want you to rip up your trash, and I want you to throw it away. Because we're going to get rid of it. I want everybody to do this with me. You still ain't got no trash. I want to talk to you. Okay, I want, everybody throw their trash away. She doesn't have any trash. She's got a perfect. Okay, big deal. Trash, trash, trash. Everybody trash. We all have trash. We all have trash. Do you guys have trash over there?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to take out the trash.
Really trash.
But it's really trash? Okay, I'll take the real trash too. Do you have trash? Throw your trash away. Okay, so now we took out our trash. So let's end this thing and let's see what is next. Okay. All right. So we did all that. We did that. We were saying goodbye to the trash. The trash is gone. That's it. We're never going to pick it up again. Try to get rid of your trash. Now that it's empty, we need to stand proud and love ourselves and our future and make it happen. Now I need everybody to stand up. Humor the old lady. last thing we're going to do. I want you to take your feelings right now, and I want one word of what you're feeling. Give me a description of what you're feeling right now. One word. And try not to take somebody else's word if you can help it. But if you can, take somebody else's word, that's fine. One word, what are you feeling right now?
It's kind of 2 words. It's stress-free.
Stress-free.
Was there a word for that?
That's good.
Okay.
And you can sit
one
when
word
you're
for-
done.
Okay.
You can sit.
Helpless.
Helpless.
Determination.
Determination.
Excited.
Excited.
Overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed. Confidence. What? Ready. Grateful.
Perplexed.
Good word. That's a dollar word.
That is a good one.
Motivated.
Okay, we go back.
Your word?
Blessed.
Blessed.
Tired.
Tired.
I'm stressed.
You're stressed.
I'm so stressed. I'm gonna throw away my trash.
That's
It's
okay.
still there when I get to.
Well, you know what though? But that's okay because you know what? Now you know you're stressed, but now you know some parts and pieces on what makes sense to you. So maybe it will help you decompress and de-stress. Strength. Okay. Now, thank you very much. And let me ask you this. I want you to repeat after me. If I think it,
If I think it,
and I see it,
and I see it,
and I say it,
and I say
it will be so.
it will be so.
So if you think you're going to be successful, you will be. If you keep thinking negative and you keep holding on to the trash, you become trash. You will never, ever, ever get out of those bonds that tie you down so much by keeping that thinking with you. Okay? Mr. Davis says it best. It's called stinking thinking.
Yeah.
And if you keep it stinking thinking, you'll stink. Okay? So you have to really think it, see it, say it. It will be so. Okay? So set your goals. Set your goals today for where you want to be when all this is over with. Set your goals today and write them down. Put them in an envelope and put them somewhere in your bedroom. And say in 6 months, open that envelope up and see if you've met any of those goals. And keep thinking about it, really, because it will happen for you. Okay? I want you to have as much as you can hold in life. Okay? Because you really can hold a lot of happiness. Okay? So don't think you're alone ever. There's always somebody to talk to. But just do yourself a favor. Trust trustworthy people. And only give your trust to trustworthy people. Only give your time to people who are going to make a difference in your life to get you positively forward, not negatively backward. Okay? Like I said, a lot of people in my friends and family, they think, wow, you're really cold. You know, you don't let a lot of drama in your life. I don't have time for that because I just want to wake up every day, take a big fresh breath air. Big fresh breath air. Okay. Yeah, that too, right? Take a big breath of fresh air and just be thankful that I opened my eyes again today. And what am I going to do positive today? What am I going to do? How am I going to change somebody's life today? That's what rewards me. That's what motivates me. I hope I motivated you. That's the end of the presentation.